Hello everybody, this is Gerone Wright, and once again you're joining me on my Gerone Wright YouTube channel. Alright, what you're looking at here is an image of the moon and cycle over our world. For many years, people have been trying to figure out the effects that the moon has, well, not just on our planet, but with our body as well. And it says that it causes us to have mental and adverse reaction in some cases in different cycles of the moon. All right, and this video, I want to make this video short and sweet. I usually say short and sweet, and I usually go on and on and on, but I'm not. It's not going to be the case with that. Here goes some of the things that that happens with us. I mean, not with us with the moon, but this is the moon, okay? And I'm going to read something for you. What kind of effects that it actually has. These are the effects that it has on the ocean tides. The moon, in addition to being a beautiful addition to the night sky, is also responsible for changing ocean tides that we experience daily here on our Earth. Basically, the moon has gravitational power, just like Earth does. And the moon's gravitational force exerts a powerful pull on the oceans on both sides of our planet. It causes the oceans to bulge away from the Earth. The ocean facing the moon bulges towards the moon, while the ocean on the other side of the Earth bulges in the opposite direction. Okay. This is caused by the Earth actually pulling away from the ocean and toward the moon. The rotation of the Earth along with the moon's gravitational pull causes the ocean tides to change. High tides occurs when the body of water is facing the moon. So when the Earth is facing the moon, we have a high tide. Okay. High tide occurs when the ocean of the moon is facing directly at the moon, or when the moon is pulling the mass of the Earth away from the water. When the moon is neither overhead nor opposite the side of the Earth, a body of water settles back into low tide. The sequence of high tide and low tide generally happens twice a day. Everywhere on the planet, approximately 12 hours to 25 minutes as the Earth rotates, the moon orbits. Each tide lasts about 6 hours. So why aren't the tides in smaller bodies of water, like ponds or small lakes? It's because the entire body of water is the same distance from the moon throughout. So all the water experiences so why did you? Oh, okay. So all of the water experiences an equal gravitational pull. All right. So that's where we're at here. Now let me turn this thing off so I can hear myself. This is where I'm at with this, and it's my position that well, it's always my position, by the way, people. It's my position that these cycles of the moon with that of our world. Oh, I have it upside down too. Let me turn this up. That these cycles of the moon with our world and the effects that it is having with our world can be equated with what is happening in our bodies, in our very own bodies. All right. Let me see if I can turn that. Let me turn that back on. It's happening with our bodies as well, people. And these chemistries that are happening with the moon cycle, the gravitational pull that the moon is having with our world is the same which is happening within our bodies. Some of the scenarios that, and I mean, this is the first time you ever heard this, but think about it. It calls for logical sense. If the moon is affecting the water on our planet, logically thinking, people, don't you think that would be the same effect within our bodies? Now, the chemistry would actually vary from person to person, where you are at in our world, the place, how much salt content is in your body. All of these things would cause a reaction within your body based on where our moon is at. This is why they're talking about the light and all of this, when it says that a person mentally becomes imbalanced on certain moons, like they say on the full moon. People, think about it. The only spell that the moon can have over you is the same spell that it has over our planet. The gravitational pull on the water bodies in the body that it's affecting. Point blank. I'm going to leave this video short and sweet. Now, our bodies, in my position, our bodies are in sync with our moon. Not just our world, but our moon and our sun. So, these three chemistries, these three bodies, are the affecting bodies of our bodies. And this is why it can also be said that survival outside of our planet solar system, our planet's orbit, is impossible, because our bodies are in sync with Earth, our moon, and our sun. To take and leave out of that scenario, which is the in-sync process for us to live and call ourselves living on Mars or one of the other locations, it's impossible. Our creation, our being, is designed through that in union with our world, its moon, and our sun. It's like a wheel of life. And we're inside right here. Outside of this wheel of life, we can't survive. Our bodies most humans have, in a normal scenario, 50% to 65% of water in its body. Now you take that scenario, you take that scenario, add sodium and salt and the type of food that you're eating, those chemistries, all of these have the effect on how our moon in its cycle is affecting each individual's. It's my position that this rise and this elevation in the tides in our bodies, like at nights, medical conditions like heart attacks in your sleep, high blood pressure, all of these things are affected because water in our bodies is what drives other chemistries in our bodies. Okay, so it's my position that caught at the right time, the moon in the right location, it can cause death in a life or it can save a life. It's my position that these cycles of our moon with our world, all of these changes, what I'm just now describing, is what our ancient ancestors were watching. They knew. And this is why they paid a lot of attention to what was going on, not just in our world, but outside the world. They knew their bodies. The same experience and encounter, the paranormal experience and encounter that I'm having, that is allowing me to bring you this amazing video, is the same exact thing that calls for them to be so identifying with themselves and understand, because they paid attention to what was going on with them, just like I am. I realized some time ago that the moon, based on my own behavior, what it was with the moon that caused for a change in me. I knew that if I had a certain amount of water in my body, it says that the norm is 8 cups of water. I knew that if I drank so much water, what effects that the moon would have on my body. I did tests with myself to understand this. I would put more water in my body than other times, and I could see and feel the elevation. It's a higher conscience, a change in my body based on what I had in my body, the water I had in my body. If I didn't have no water in my body, I can feel the ill effects from that in conjunction with the moon. So people, there's never been a study with our bodies and the water in our bodies based on what the moon. You know why? Because no one ever realized that. What the effect is that it actually has with the moon. My name is Gerone Wright. I'm gonna make this video real short and sweet. So the next time you try to identify why are you behaving differently with the moon and what is going on, look at it as not being the light. Look at it as the moon as having that same gravitational pull that it's having on our planet, causing our planet's bodies of water to bulge towards it, causing a higher tide on one side and a lower tide on the other, and then releasing. Think of that way of the moon's effect on your body, because what our planet is are what we are. We are a part of this world. So any effect that this pull is having on our planet, it is having on our bodies. Now, I'm going to give you one other scenario before I actually go away. Now take that, people, and look at it in this sense as well, too. This gravitational pull, this bulge on our planet's water body right here. Imagine the people, the life forms, animals, mankind, in between that pull, that gravitational pull. Even if you don't feel the effects directly in your body, there is a natural sense that you got used to the idea of it's almost like a behavior that's almost not instinctive, but a behavior that you're so used to that you're not even aware of it. Because what's happening is between that pull, you're between it. So even if you don't say it's not affecting you directly, you don't feel it coming from. You know why? Because as that moon is pulling on the water bodies of our planet, you are situated between that chemistry. So you're getting it like in a double sense. You're getting it from the moon pulling on the water in your body, plus on top of that, you're in between the chemistry that the moon is having in the interaction with our planet. In other words, the effects of it, if you were over here, this is your body over here. I'm gonna put this down here. This is your body over here. There's a different effect as if you were in this zone being directly pulled upon by the moon. So in other words, the effects of it could be intensified. When you hear people losing their mind and there's a full moon and the behaviors and all of that, well, people, it's because not only are your body's being affected by this, but now you are in direct hit of this process of where it's hitting the planet on a gravitational pull. You're in between that, and plus your own body is being affected for the simple fact that the moon is actually pulling on the waters in your body. You see what I'm saying, people, if that makes sense to you? Now, of course, science is going to have to look at this now and all of that, but it's just amazing that until now, no one has never looked at it or looked at it in that sense. Now, check this out. Now, water is not the only fluid in our body. We have urine in our body, which is water. Then we have blood. Look at the effects. If this moon has the capability on pulling, making fluids move in a body on our planet, look at the chemistries in our body. The waters in our eyes, the saliva in our body, the blood, that in itself. Imagine the effects that this moon, the power, the gravitational pull that it's having is causing our planet to bulge and the waters to be pulled to it. Now take that and equate that with the waters, all of the water, not just the liquid fluids in our body, but the blood and all of those chemistries. And we're in between it. It's a tug of war. We're in a zone where there is a tug of war between a moon and its cycle is causing not only a gravitational change in our world, which affects us directly as well, but a gravitational effect in our own bodies, which is identical to what is going on with our world. and then the effects of our sun having as well. So people, the next time you think of why you feel differently with the moon, or just pay attention to it. I'm asking you, pay attention to the moon and where it's at and how you are feeling on that in that specific time, whether it's at night or whether it's at day or whatever. Because people, this is what meant so important to our ancient ancestors. This is why they looked to the stars and outside of our world for the effects that was happening inside. You know, because those people, they didn't have laptops, they didn't have cars, they didn't have religion in the sense that we have it, to where we paid so much attention to everything outside of our bodies instead of what was going inside. These people had all of the time in the world to pay attention to what was going on with them in conjunction to where the moon was. So they knew that if the moon was here, something was going on inside of them, that they could be aware. There was a higher subconscious of awareness with the moon being there. So they knew this. So they knew that when this moon was there, they tuned into their own body and said, hey, you know what? When the moon is here, my mind and my thoughts are way out beyond somewhere. It's like a gateway, a doorway, a dimensional doorway that causes the unlock in my body. They knew when the moon was here, they felt anxiety. Like a mood ring, people. You see what I'm stating here? You see what I'm stating? Dimensional doorways cause to open up in your body based on the alignment of the moon with our world and the bodies of water that's being pulled out or being balled, causing that gravitational pull. Then look at yourself as being in between, like I just said. Scientists can, you know what I mean? I'm in a layman's sense. Like again, I'm not the best narrator for explaining this because I'm not a scientist. But those of you that are in the scientific fields or have a better knowledge or a better understanding of the moon and the cycle with our world, you know that this makes for perfect logical sense. And you're saying, oh man, how did that miss me? You know why? Because you don't think outside of the box. I'm going to continue to bring you amazing videos, and mark this as another amazing video, people, because until now, yeah, people realized that there was effect on the moon with our bodies, but all they stated was the brightness of the moon and this, that. They didn't never look at it in the sense that I just described it. I gave you two amazing things and two amazing scenarios. This moon having a gravitational pull on our bodies based on the water amount in our bodies, the amount of salt in our bodies. And not just that, on the fluids in our bodies, meaning the blood, all. This moon is affecting us in that way, just as it is affecting our world. Then the next scenario that I gave you is being in that side, in that heavy body of air, of water area, where there is a tremendous pull. You're in that zone. When this is your pull, and depending on all of the above that I just described in the other scenario, this is an effect that it can have on your body, causing a heart attack, causing an anxiety attack, causing irrational behaviors. This is where we're at, people. This is what you need to focus on. The effect of the moon with your body based on the chemistry that is in. Try it yourself with the cycles of the moon. Use water, you can use salt. Try it and feel your different behaviors as I have felt. My name is Gerone Wright. You're watching my Geronification channel here on it used to be Geronification, it's Gerone Wright now. And I hope you like this video. Thank you.